enjoy humor. I just don't think that I am the greatest at cracking jokes. So this is why I actually took this topic on, because I wanted to challenge myself some more. We took a trip as a family, my husband and I, to Papua New Guinea, other side of the world. This was in 2016 now, so it's been a few years. And we spent roughly 2 months over there. I had traveled overseas before to Germany and to another country like Canada, but with those countries, besides, language difference in some parts of Canada and being in Germany, speaking German and things like that, there really isn't any crazy significant differences. Yes, there are plenty of cultural differences, but Papua New Guinea is a whole new level of different. When I went there, it was a long trip to get there, and my husband was warning me. He told me things like, when we get to the village, it's going to be a really bumpy ride to get to the place where my tribe is at. And I was like, come on, I live in Ohio. I know the potholes. I go through some crazy potholes that could really mess up your car. It's no big deal. Little did I know what he meant about the bumpy roads. We were in an all-terrain vehicle going through mountainous terrain on roads that I really wouldn't call a road even, actually. And so as we were going, it was literally like this the whole entire way, to the point where I was airborne plenty of times. So he wasn't kidding when he said, beware the roads. Also, another thing in Papua New Guinea is going to the city is a really big deal. Because as you can imagine, the roads aren't that great, and it actually takes a long time to get to the city for anything. And one of the, ways to get around that is you take these big vehicles and you just load them up. So as many people as possible get into this vehicle like a clown car. So we have at least 15 to 20 people, because there's some kids in there too, when people come in and jump out as needed. So this vehicle is loaded. And we had stopped and we were talking with one of his tribesmen, and his tribesman was kind of talking quietly to me. And he was like, hey, I know you're going to the city. Can you give me a pop? And I was like, of course, yeah, no big deal. I'll get you a pop. And then my husband turns to me and he smiles and he said, part of the culture here is that if you say that you're going to get something for somebody, and if there's anybody around you within earshot, that means that you will also get that for everybody. So I turned behind me, and everybody in the vehicle was looking at me with a huge smile on their face because they knew they were all getting a pop. So thankfully, it wasn't anything big because we would be in trouble, but it worked out. But that was something that was also kind of funny. Another cultural difference is gatherings. So everyone was so excited that we were there. We're family. We've come home after, it's been many years since my husband had been home, and this was my first time traveling there. So they're so excited, and they want to have a big party. So when you have a big party, usually you do a pig roast. Okay, great and all, but we need some pigs. Another one of our trips was to go around and get some of these pigs that people had that they were contributing to this festivity. Now you have to transport the pig, though, and again, a bumpy road to get there. And they have these huge pigs, and they grabbed them by the ears and got them into this vehicle because, of course, they didn't want to go with us. And they put straw, not really straw, some other kind of plant that they use there, and leaves and all kind of stuff down on the ground in the vehicle. And I figured out very quickly why they did that. This poor pig, if you are not used to vehicles and that bumpiness, you're going to get car sick. And that happens to animals as well. So we had 15 to 20 people in this vehicle that was bumping along with a pig who had thrown up everywhere. And we eventually got back to our home village site and had festivities. But it was definitely an adventure, to say the least. We had a great time, but these are just some of the things that were different culturally that it all worked out great, and it was actually really funny for me to learn some of these things along the way. And that's the kind of humor that I actually enjoy the most. Trevor Noah is one of those comedians that speaks about cultural differences, but his humor is great because it brings to light truths, or it makes you think about things. In this case, I am so thankful for the roads here now. I used to complain. I was one of those people that said, man, these roads are terrible. I hate all these potholes. And now I'm like, this is great. I love this. We have roads to where we need to get to. My work driving on these roads is almost an hour away. I can't even imagine how long that would take in Papua New Guinea. So I am so thankful for roads. And so that's the kind of humor that I really enjoyed, and that's why I wanted to share with you today some of the humorous things that I experienced while I had this trip. I'd like to leave you with one last thing, and that's a quote from one of the people I really looked up to when I was in college. In her email signature, she had this quote: "Don't take life too seriously. No one gets out alive."